Next thing we're getting into, the full CMA. This is a detailed approach. Which system do we use when we're doing these? They're all available in our MLS systems. Pretty much. The ones we're going to do now, this is going to be the wizard. It's a full CMA. So to do a full CMA, make sure it has a CMA wizard, which I do the cloud CMA more than anything now, because I like the detail it allows me to go into. I don't know which one you guys are using. The normal CMA button now kicks you out. That's the one I used to always use, and I don't know why they ever removed the button. But anyway, run a search for comps. It's where we start, just like we did in the last one. And this is going to go down through it. Now remember, this is the on-demand library from Stellar MLS University. This is not something I've created. This is our system, and that's how it works. So, you click CMA button, it launches the wizard, 9 tabs. And at this point, you can tell it to pick the comps for you too, but then you still need to sort them. So, again, you can go down through, you can enter a brief description of the home that you are targeting for a buyer or a seller. And guys, these don't take super long and they're nice and accurate. It just really helps people. So help people. Take the moment, do your job. You may want to test a CMA with all pages and then go through and determine which pages to eliminate. In other words, in this section, you pick what you want to have. Do you want a cover sheet? Do you want a cover sheet with a picture of the house? These are all things you can add. And if you're working with a seller, gosh, does it not look better than somebody that walks in and goes, here are the 5 comps I found, and I printed off the MLS sheets for you. Yeah, you're going to have those too, tucked in the back of your report. I always leave those separate, stapled together in the back of the report when I go in and talk to people about these things. Okay, you can email this too, but the fact of the matter is, if you're presenting it in person, it's kind of like, how I am. I like the phone, I like in person, because when you're in person, people sign things, and you have their full attention. So I like that. Cover sheets, customized, all these things. So we just talked about comps. You want to search for comps, already populated, or if they're already populated, that's fine too. You can add or remove them. So to a degree, you can make the CMA say what you want it to say. So again, if you feel that the home is worth more, you can modify this thing with what that home has and make it worth more. Be a professional. Again, we talked about the countertops. If somebody has a countertop that's worth $1 gazillion, okay, but if you value it at that, is the home going to sell? I don't know. That's up to you. You're the professional. So add comps from the tax record. These are other things you can do. A lot of people don't know how to do sales that are outside of the MLS. It's important that we do. We need to know what's sold. Here's the other thing again, what I was saying before. Talk to the seller. What homes have sold in the neighborhood that you thought were good comps to your home as I'm working on this thing? People will tell you. Heck, people will tell you what they think their home's worth. And you just smile and go, okay, that's great. But I'm going to really narrow it down for you, and I'm going to make it make sense through just the numbers, because the numbers don't lie. I want to make sure that statistically what you're asking to ask for the house makes sense, and I want to make it make sense to you, or I'm going to make it not make sense to you. It's going to be one of the two. Wouldn't you agree that'd be fair? People always go, yeah. You do have the occasional one that goes, no, that's what I want for the house. Yeah. Okay, well, we may or may not be working together is my next comment. Because I'm the professional and this is what I do every day. I don't tell them that, but some people do. It's just true. Okay. So comps are better. Subtract the ones. These are just all the subtractions and additions and things that you do. Auto adjustment features for value. This is also one of those things. If the value of better entered in this box is 20 grand, you're way off the mark. You need to be reasonable. If you don't know the numbers to use, talk to me. A bedroom, if you look at a new home build, that's a good indicator, right? Because they do base them like that. The highest you're ever going to see is 10 grand. The typical for a bedroom is 5 grand. The typical for an additional bay on a garage is 10 grand. A swimming pool typically is only going to be 25. It may only be 20 depending on the age of the home, right? If the pool needs to be refurbished, it's not going to be worth as much. If the pool has been refurbished and finished inside, it's going to be worth more. This is where we break things down, and it helps. And sometimes you even leave these things attached to the MLS. Is there anything wrong with doing that under the paperclip button? So you've done the job now for the buyer's agent. He goes, oh, well, here's how they've picked their price. And someone will even call and talk to you about it. Is that really fair? I mean, this one doesn't seem quite the same.
I haven't done that.
And
I haven't thought about putting, is
why
there any
not?
rules with MLS? Sorry, I know I'm asking a question.
No.
Of dropping your CMA into
No.
the. I haven't thought
None
about that.
whatsoever. We're helping them do their job.
Mm-hmm.
No different than attaching.
It's just an extra step that we're doing, obviously.
Well, no different than attaching a full-blown appraisal.
Right, or
There's
originally asked
nothing wrong,
questions.
or somebody else's home inspection. Okay, so the cloud CMA, this is the one I like, and I use it all the time. And it gives you the ability to present your CMA as a slideshow too, which is really nice. Okay, so go down through again. You know what you're doing there. You know where to click on the CMA button and search the comps. You launch it. The criteria tab. Name the report. Name it. Make it make sense. Auto-populate information. These are the auto-populates. But you know those will even come up on the basic CMA.
Yeah.
And really great an aerial photo. I love those too. But yeah. How do you want to get your comparative listing? I was trying to, under the how do you want to, okay? You make the selection. Sorry, I had to read that 3 times because all of a sudden that didn't make sense to me as I read it. But, you know, again, you can do the quick and dirty, but that's not what we want to do. Pick them. Pick your own. Don't just let the thing pick them for you because they may or may not be accurate. It's a system. It's running on algorithms. Your brain is far more superior than any computer you're ever going to use. It doesn't mean that you can't do that and look at what they pull up and then make your selections because you can still add and subtract, right? So comp the listing can be sorted by status, which you should. Bedrooms, bathrooms, list price, days on market. Notice this little et cetera. That et cetera is huge because now you can say pool. How about you're now comparing, you're coming in and doing a CMA on a listing. You're meeting with a seller. The last guy did the quick CMA. He didn't even know if there's pools on the other houses or not.
Yeah.
You come in with this full blown. Who's the professional? You. And that's how we want to be portrayed always. So on the map, you know, you're picking your areas. It's just saying what the listings are, whether they're green, red, and yellow, whatever. Summary of listings going to be on the right hand side. Summary property. This is where I can go bing, bing, bing through this, but the fact of the matter is, if you have not ran this program, pick a home, run it. Pretend that you've got a buyer that's looking at that home. How do you price it? Or you're meeting with a seller, you hope, and or there's a listing out there. Pick that listing, price it yourself. See if the guy that's got it did a good job. It may, you know, especially if it's been on the market quite some time, you may get an opportunity. Because oftentimes the second agent that comes in gets a seller to go to the price that should have been at in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay. So select your listings that you're comparing again, adjust the values. It's going to update automatically and go on and forth. Okay. Boy, this one is hard to get through quickly because it's thicker, which we want it to be. But I think it's just really important to personalize these things. Use your edit button. Move pages around, line them up in the way they ought to be, put things where they should be, in the order that it should be. Even when it says, you know, what's your promise to your seller? That's a nice sheet that I think you should always use. It goes at the very back or the very second page, depending on your seller.
Yeah.
So you've got to, again, know their personality. That's just part of sales. People act like this isn't a sales business. We're just showing people properties and they're going to pick what they want. I disagree. This is fully a sales business. We need to know who we're working with to be able to present them with the information that they want in the format that they want to see it. And then we're doing our job well. Okay. So just keep doing your job. I keep saying that, but it's true. Again, your profile. Wouldn't we maybe want to have our logo, our email on our work, for somebody to be able to grab it and look at it and go, oh yeah, there they are. Instead, some people just staple their card. I always put my card in my CMA, but I don't staple it to it. I kind of want it to fall out so somebody's got to pick it up. Just saying. Thoughts of sales again. You hand them their CMA, your card falls out, they bend over and pick it up, now it's in their hand. You're not even having to hand it to them. Simple, stupid things that work.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, sorry about that. Yeah.
Maybe put a digital card on the CMA so they
Yeah.
can scan it.
Okay, all right, we're still moving by this. So customize your pages from, it just shows how professional you are. Other features, this is gonna be important too, along with lead generation feature. This is, don't forget too, that as we're doing these things, that we can turn around and reverse market, through our MLS system. We can reverse prospect to other folks that have entered their buyers into a system. We can go in and search them as the seller. And if it's a match, wouldn't we maybe want to reach out to them? Okay, because sometimes people put all that information in and then they're too busy to go back and check it and to make sure that everything is going to their buyers. So let's help them. And again, this is stuff that's even going to cover buyer tours, working with buyers class, all these different things that are offered through the MLS University. It's important stuff though. So there is a mobile email feature in the Cloud CMA, and you can very quickly get your CMA to them. This is not a bad thing, but these emails again, quick and dirty. They only pull the nearby comps.
Yeah.
They don't filter out for similar properties. If you have the opportunity to, take the time, do your homework, do a full-blown CMA, guys, okay? But this is the way you can register things. There's even, bonuses for data and things like that. So these are other systems that we can use. And, I don't think that this is a bad deal either. They just put the data co-op. Okay. So there are various ways to then analyze that information yourself. But I don't like it when the system does the analysis for me. I want to analyze it myself because, again, I'm the one that's selling it. This system's just spitting out data. Okay? So it's important. Do the full-blown thing. Do a nice report. Put it in one of the clear report binders. They don't cost hardly anything. And again, versus somebody that shows up with their CMA stapled together and their card stapled to the corner, and their logo is not on it. The picture of the person's home's not on it. If the home's not too far away, or that house now, it's not a home anymore, it's a house. It's a home for a buyer, it's a house for a seller, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So drive by that property, take a picture. Gosh. Oh, you don't even need to do that. You can look it up in the
On Google,
on
and then
Google.
Google.
And use that. But I mean, if you're doing a drive-by, it's
Yeah.
smart. Know the neighborhood.
Go get a pizza cup.
If you're getting a
Coffee.
listing and you're going to make possibly $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 off that listing, is it maybe worth taking a drive through that community?
It's so funny because literally mentally you like don't think about it. You're like, so much more. You're like, I'm not amazing. So much money. I need to go through that.
Use these forms and you're creating opportunities. The pricing of a home and using this and doing it right, you're actually creating an opportunity. And I've got this note up here. It's just opportunity is the one thing we all seek in life, especially as salespeople. It's fun to speak about opportunities. Remember that relationships give you those opportunities. Create your sphere of influence. That's what it does. The stronger the relationships, the better and more consistent opportunities arise. The larger your sphere becomes, and people think you are lucky. So go sell and be blessed.